What is going on, guys? You got Tone here, bringing you my IBL Season 3 Week 7 battle against Chime and his team, the Gaia Gardevoirs. He is a defending IBL champion, and he is also placed in 3rd place in the Token Minorities March Madness tournament, so he is a very formidable battler, good friend. So last week we came off of a win over our division rivals, the LA LGMs. So we are now coming into this 4-2. Chime is coming in currently 3-3. Not really good. He doesn't really consider that a good record by his standards, considering that last season he only lost twice all of last season. So anyway, with that being said, just to go over his team, which you see on the right. Basically, he has that Bulutran core, then he has also some other fast mons. His team is sort of similar to mine, how it has like a good combination of bulk with the Heatran. He has the Gliscor, Porygon 2, and then he has some fast mons like the Excelgor and the Azelf Keldeo, which can be problematic to my team. But some mons I'm expecting less than others, and mostly, I'm not expecting stuff like the last 3 mons. I'm not really expecting, but anything is possible as far as I'm concerned. So, without further ado, I'm just going to run the team that I brought versus Chime and his team. So, the first Pokemon you see is Navi, our Clefable, with Stealth Rock, Soft Boiled, Knockoff, and Moonblast. I have Stealth Rock on my Clefable mainly because compared to his hazard removers, with the exception of Gliscor, it matches up well against Hitmonchan and Armaldo if he decides to bring them for some reason. I can Moonblast both of them. They both can't do much back to me. Gliscor can taunt me, but I can at least try and knock off its Toxic Orb or all that stuff if it hasn't been activated yet. And Moonblast is the overall general stab attack. Hits everything at least neutrally except for that Heatran, which I am expecting 100%. The EV spread here. The HP and special defense investment ensures that I don't get 2-hit KO'd by a Keldeo Hydro Pump, assuming it's not Life Orb or Choice Specs. But I don't really expect Keldeo because I have a good amount of responses to it. I have Starmie, which can switch into any attack. Scolopy naturally outspeeds it. Stuff like that. I can run like Chople Berry Ferrothorn if I wanted to, but decided not to. So that's pretty much the Clefable set. 4 speed to ensure I avoid speed tying with Porygon 2, and the rest is put in special attack and defense to give it some bulk and a little bit extra boost to the Clefable's Moonblast. That's pretty much it. So that's Clefable. Pokemon number 2 here, we have our Nidoqueen with Roar, Toxic Spikes, Earth Power, and Ice Beam. So Nidoqueen is here basically as my response to Tapu Bulu, but sadly I can't switch in because Wood Hammers are 2 KO, so I'm really going to have to play around using momentum on my team to bring Nidoqueen in safely, as it can't switch in onto Wood Hammers or Horn Leeches from a banded Bulu or an Adamant Max Attack Bulu. If he's not banded, he could be Scarf, who knows. But this at least allows me to give me a chance to get my Toxic Spikes, because T-Spikes are mainly good for stuff like this Kyurem, the Porygon 2, stuff like that. I could have ran Toxic, but considering that he has a lot of Pokemon that are either flying types or aren't touching the ground, so. But I feel as though Toxic Spikes would have been better because in the sense that he's like if he sub-roosts Kyurem, the poison damage can be, the leftover damage, the recovery can be mitigated by the poison damage, and if Grassy Terrain isn't up, he'll actually lose more health and he's forced to roost more often, so puts me in a little bit better spot and I can roar him out if the case comes up. So mostly physically defensive here with a tiny bit of speed, enough for uninvested Heatran, and that is pretty much my Nidoqueen right there. So Pokemon number 3, we have Inanna, our Starmie, with Life Orb, Analytic, Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, Rapid Spin, Psychic, fully max special attack, max speed to speed tie with the Azelf at worst, and outspeed everything else like his Keldeo, etc., etc. So this is basically my offensive response to his Keldeo, or my primary response to his Keldeo if he does decide to bring it for one reason or another. And the combination of Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, and Psychic hits everything else on his team, and Rapid Spin just is there to get rid of hazards and mainly prevent him from spike stacking me if he brings that Excelgor. I can't, and depending on his Excelgor, I probably can't take a Bug Buzz from Excelgor if he's not Life Orb. But considering he doesn't have a Ghost type, I can freely go for a spin against something like Keldeo if he does bring it. Something like Porygon 2, but I have to be more wary about Porygon 2 considering that I'm running Analytic. So he can trace my Analytic, and he's naturally... P2 is naturally slower than all of my Mons, so that can be a problem. He can also trace my Magic Guard and avoid taking poison damage until I get my T-Spikes up. So Porygon 2 can be a bit of an issue, which is why I have knockoff on my Clawitzers to get rid of its Eviolite, make it easier for me to wear that thing down. But this is my Starmie set, basically just come in, hit things hard. That's pretty much all I can say about that. Anyway, so move on to Pokemon number 4, we have our Scolipede here. Coming off picking up 5 kills last week. This week, pretty similar moveset, with the exception of I have Aqua Tail over Earth Power, over Super Power, and rocking the Water EMZ. I dialed back on the speed a lot since I really wasn't expecting the Keldeo. So my Scolipede is only running enough speed to outspeed a Timid Max Speed Kyurem, and at +1 speed I outspeed his entire team, a non-Scarf. The only thing I lose out to is like Scarf Keldeo, and basically anything faster than Scarf Kyurem. At +1 and at +2 I outspeed everything. So Poison Jab plus Earthquake hits pretty much his entire team with the exception of the Gliscor, which I have Aqua Tail for. Hit him with a nice Hydro Vortex after a Swords Dance boost and completely blow that thing back. Aqua Tail is also nice for me to deal with Heatran if he's an Air Balloon, so I can hit it without being walled by it indefinitely. So that is basically my Scolipede set right there. We're going to put out Pokemon number 5. We have Quetzalcoatl here, Choice Scarf, Thundurus, Therian, Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, HP, Ice, and Sludge Wave. Again, enough speed to outspeed his Kyurem, and everything slower than that. So mostly this is just going to be coming in as a revenge killer. I have HP Ice for the Gliscor, Sludge Wave lets me deal with Tapu Bulu, Thunderbolt and Volt Switch is just general stab coverage. Nothing real fancy about this, just come in, get momentum with Volt Switch. He does have some pretty fast Mons I have to outspeed, which is why I'm running Choice Scarf. I want to at least outspeed Azelf and all that stuff, the Excelgor, etc, etc. So that is the Thunder set, coming in just back as a revenge killer, probably as a lead if he doesn't bring Gliscor, which I am expecting. And last but not least, our 6th Pokemon here, we have our Mienshao Kimiko, High Jump Kick, U-Turn, Knockoff, Poison Jab with Reckless, and bring in Double Scarf. Because I felt as though that Mienshao had a good matchup against most of his team. I have High Jump Kick, good general stab attack to click. His only fighting resist is that Gliscor. U-Turn for momentum, Knockoff, to get rid of Porygon's 2's Eviolite, if I can catch a Gliscor on the switch and knock with its Toxicroak before it can activate, and Poison Jab for the Tapu Bulu, with enough speed to outspeed a Timid Max Speed Heatran, Kyurem, and everything slower. So, running Double Scarf here, Mienshao will most likely be my lead depending on his team. I'm mostly expecting his first 6 Mons with the exception of Keldeo. Like, I'm expecting Heatran, I'm expecting Bulu, I'm expecting Azelf, I'm expecting the Gliscor, I am expecting the Kyurem, because I don't really have much of an ice switch him, and I'm expecting the Porygon too. So that's going to be the team that I am bringing against Chime. So I'm just going to switch on over to battle and see what happens. So we'll be right back. So here we are with the Week 7 battle of the IBL against Chime and his Gaia Gardevoirs. I did predict most of his team that I expected him to bring. The only real thing I wasn't expecting, he did bring the Keldeo. I was expecting Porygon too. But nonetheless, it didn't really change much in terms of my lead. I felt as though that Kimiko was my best lead because if I had the matchup, I could High Jump Kick. If I don't have the matchup, I get a U-Turn out. So I had momentum either way, so his lead was kind of iffy, at least for my part, so I didn't really know what to expect. There we go. So he goes into the challenge here. He's going to lead up with his Kyurem. I kind of wasn't expecting that, but I don't have much of an ice switch in, so it made sense on his part. So I'm going to lead with my Mienshao there. I know he doesn't want to stay in and take a high jump kick, so I know he's going to switch out. So I'm just going to go for the U-turn here, get that momentum, as he's going to go out into his Tapu Bulu. I couldn't click Poison Jab. It was a little bit too early to reveal, and I didn't want to overpredict first turn. So I'm just going to U-turn out. And with this, gives me the opportunity to go out directly into my Nidoqueen, which is my Tapu Bulu check, or the only thing that can take one hit from Tapu Bulu. Now, I did debate between Ice Beam and Toxic Spikes this turn, but I figured T-Spikes was better in case he was sub-Roost Kyurem or Calm Mind Keldeo. As you see, that Wood Hammer did a crap ton. I don't know his set, but if he was banded, that would have killed me, actually. So at least I know he's not banded Bulu. He could potentially be Scarf Bulu. I don't know yet. I don't expect him to be leftover to some variant. So I'm just gonna stay and go for the Ice Beam here. So I essentially just sack off my Nidoqueen, but the main job was done. Nidoqueen did get up Toxic Spikes, so those spikes are here to stay unless he's Defog Gliscor, which I seriously doubt, as my Nidoqueen is gonna drop to the next Wood Hammer. The recoil does put it in range of Hidden Power Ice from my Thundurus, so that's what I'm going to do here. Just go directly out into my Thundurus, try to get its revenge kill. Go for the safe Hidden Power Ice. I didn't want to risk Volt Switch because he has that Gliscor still, so he stays in. I go for the HP Ice. Down goes Tapu Bulu. He stayed in. The way that he stayed in like this made me assume right away that he was Choice Scarf Bulu. I hope he thought I was trying to bluff him. But now that he knows that I'm Scarf, he goes into his Keldeo, he gets a free switch in, he gets a free attack off on whatever. So I'm going to go out directly into my Starmie here, as Starmie can take any hit from this Keldeo, barring something like an HP Electric, but he just goes for the safe Scald, and that's good neutral damage on my entire team. No burn there, luckily for me, because I'm not running Recover. He reveals he has Life Orb Keldeo, which is also good to know because he's being worn down by Life Orb, Recoil, and the Poison. The Grassy Terrain is not going to be up forever. Now, here, I probably should have made a prediction here, but I just clicked Psychic here on the off chance he stayed in for whatever reason, but Keldeo still proved to be useful to him, so he's going to switch out. He's going to go out into his Heatran to take the Psychic. I could have predicted there going for a Hydro Pump, but here I played a little bit too safe. And as you see, this Psychic isn't going to do much. I'm assuming it's like a specially defensive set. I don't see leftovers, so I'm trying to go for the Hydro Pump here. In case he was Z Bloom Doom Heatran, but he's just going to double out into his Kyurem to try to take this Hydro Pump from my Starmie. He does get poisoned though, as I get to fire off a free Analytic bonus to Hydro Pump, but I miss. So we're 0-2 for Hydro Pumps on my Starmie. need to fix that aim. But nonetheless, I do go for Psychic here because what Psychic does for me, at least, it puts it in range of a +2. It puts it in range of Poison Jab from my Scolipede. But he just goes for the Ice Beam here. I think he was expecting. I don't think he was expecting a switch. I think he was just expecting that Ice Beam would kill because like I said, I don't have an Ice Resist. So I'm just gonna go for another Psychic here. He just has to stay in and sack this thing off, which is fine by me. So Kyurem drops, so Starmie picks up a kill there. And I do have one more turn, one more Life Orb hit left in me as he decides to go out into his Azelf. So this is a speed tie. Hopefully I win it. I don't win it. So sad times. Starmie's gonna drop here, but he's going for the U-turn. So the momentum is on my side of the. Momentum's on my side. He reveals he's Life Orb Azelf, so I know he wasn't scarfed or anything. And it's just going to go back into Heatran, probably set up his Stealth Rocks here. So it's going to be a free opportunity to go out into my Mienshao to prevent him from getting those rocks up from my Scolipede and Thundurus to be hampered. So now I'm going to make a prediction here to him to go out into his Gliscor here. So I'm just going to click Knock Off this turn. As he does go out into his Gliscor here, I'm going to knock off this Gliscor's Toxic Orb. So no Poison here recovery for you, my friend. So After making that prediction, I'm going to go out into my Clefable here. Sorry about that. So I'm going to go out into my Clefable here. I don't know what this thing wants to do here. He decided to go for a knockoff. So my lefties are gone, but it does allow me to try to get Stealth Rocks against this Gliscor unless he is taunt. He switches out, so he probably has to have taunt with his Gliscor as he goes out into his Keldeo this time. And I get up my rocks. So that would help. That's really helpful for my Scolipede and my double scarf and my double scarfers. So now we sent in the Keldeo. I'm just gonna fire off a Moonblast. He's gonna fire off a Hydro Pump, and that's gonna do some massive damage to my Clefable. Yet I do live. I could have been cheeky and try to soft boiled, stall it out, but that wouldn't have been right. So just go for the safe Moonblast, take out this Keldeo. So we are now up 4-3. Clefable didn't really do much, but the main job was it got up Stealth Rocks to hamper his team. So I'm just going to sack off my Clefable here. Nothing else wants to take a hit from this Azelf, and he just fires off his Zen Headbutt to take out my Clefable. So, but with Clefable down, it allows me to get an opportunity to go out back into my Mienshao. He knows I'm Choice Scarf at this point, the way I'm sending it in right now. So from here, I'm just going to go for a high jump kick, because I know he doesn't want to take a knockoff, and knockoff wouldn't really do anything to the Heatran, but I decided to make a play and U-turn back out. I could have high jump kick, but he still had that Gliscor at a decent amount of health, so I wanted to get the Gliscor a little bit lower so I could freely spam Reckless high jump kick. So I'm gonna go out into my Thundurus and just click Volt Switch. I don't know what he wants to do with this Heatran. I'm a little bit skeptical here, so I'm gonna click Volt Switch. I hope he doesn't switch into Gliscor. He doesn't. I get off the good Volt Switch damage, and what this does is it puts it in range of Scolipede's Earthquake. It puts you in range of Scolipede's Earthquake, even if he shook a berry as he just decided to get up his Stealth Rock here. So, respectable play, trying to weaken my Scolipede and my Thundurus. So now I'm going to spam high jump kick at this point, because if I can get the Gliscor weakened, or if I can lower its HP down a lot, or to the point where I can come with Scolipede, it'd be beneficial to me. I land my high jump kick. It does a decent chunk of damage there. So I'm going to keep spamming high jump kick. I'm going to try to force him to kill off my Mienshao with this Gliscor here. He decided to go for a knockoff here, so he knocks off my Choice Scarf. Now I have to hit the next high jump kick to ensure that my Thundurus wins. So I have two really good high jump win cons here. My high jump kick does connect, the Gliscor drops, so I pretty much win with Thundurus now. His last two Pokemon are Azelf and Heatran. In comes the Azelf to revenge kill me. I'm going to click knockoff just in case he misses his Zen Headbutt. Unfortunately, he does connect, so my Mienshao goes down, but it did its job. With Gliscor out of the way, I win with my Thundurus just clicking T-Bolt, as I know his Heatran is not Choice Scarf because he went for Stealth Rock. So back out comes my Thundurus. I click T-Bolt 2 times, and that is essentially going to be good game to Chime. So we are going to come away with a 2-0 win over the Gaia Gardevoirs, the defending IBL champions. And we are now on a 4-game winning streak. We are now 5-2 with a +10 differential. So again, good game. It was a nice, clean, fun match. No unnecessary hacks. No misses that hindered the outcome of the game, and all that good stuff. So, so like I said, we are now 5-2, +10 differential. Unfortunately, though, we did win, but at the same time, we lost some head ground because we are actually tied now with Brendan, the Marble Mudsdale, at the top of the division, at the top of the conference. But because he beat us earlier in the season, we are the 2 seed, he is the 1 seed. And it doesn't get easier for us because our Week 8 matchup is against the best team in the entire league in brackets, and it's Tottenham Esper, who are currently coming into this matchup 7-0. So it is going to be a very, very difficult battle. But nonetheless, I hope you guys are excited for the upcoming battle, and all future battles on this channel. I hope you guys enjoy this battle. Like I said, if you did, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. And that is going to be all from me, guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed again. And until the next time, my name is Anthony, aka Tone. I'm going to catch you guys on the flip side. Later.